Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. I am sitting on the floor. As you see, I have a bucket of rice, some water, and some canned goods. This is going to be a prepping essentials, payday preps, basically. So, payday preps. Let's talk a little bit about this while I'm doing this. Um, yeah, it doesn't have to be an overly complicated thing to prep. You don't have to rush out and buy, a year's worth of food in a single day. I I greatly recommend you don't do that if you don't have it in the budget. You could really hurt yourself in the long run by doing such things if you can't afford it. I mean, yeah, food is worth its weight in gold, really. It's the most important things. You have to have it. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a waste of money by any means, but you definitely don't want to hurt yourself in the long run by spending all of your money and not being able to buy other essentials like, I don't know, toilet paper, by buying all of your food all in one particular sitting. Um, it doesn't have to be a fearful thing to prep. It shouldn't be a fearful thing to prep. Now, there should be some concern. You should have that level of urgency, but it shouldn't be to the point to where you're, making yourself insane by constantly having it consume you. So I'll just put it that way. It doesn't have to be like that. I might have to redo this plastic a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to redo that plastic. It wasn't quite enough. So, yeah. So, that being said, buying what you can when you can is the most important thing when it comes to prepping. Keeping within your own budget. Now, basically what I'm doing here, you've seen me do in other videos. I am using plastic wrap. And I have, what this is just a food grade bucket with a food grade lid, and I dump rice directly into it. Just directly. I just poured the rice into the food grade bucket, and I'm sealing it, trying to seal it with plastic wrap as I'm trying to keep my brain focused on the topic at hand here. So bear with me. These are bay leaves, and it's recommended that you freeze your rice for several days to kill any little critters that might be in it or any little critter eggs. So I'm not really too concerned about it because that's what was done with this, but I'm going to put the bay leaf in there anyway. These are 2000 cc oxygen absorbers sealed in one of my bags that I have, grimsurvival.store. If you're interested in these, I'll show you how it works here in a second. But back to the topic at hand. These are payday preps. Obviously, all you see here is a bucket of rice. These are 5 cans and 3 cases of water. That's pretty much all you can do in a single time, then that's all you can do. If all you can do is one of these extra, then that's all you can do. And that's still prepping. That's still a good thing. To always have a little bit of extra on hand is always going to be a good thing. And I highly recommend staying within your budget and not hurting yourself. These things are very pliable, very good still. They have been sealed in this particular bag, which I will show you how I seal it up for the third or fourth time on a video. But yeah, first I'm going to get this lid on here. Now, like I said, I'm only doing plastic wrap on this particular rice because doing it this way is going to create an airtight seal when you snap this lid on here. And between that and the oxygen absorber, it's going to do its job. Rice has a very long shelf life, even without it being airtight. It really does. So, yeah. Right there is another 5-gallon bucket of rice to add to the collection. Now, what you're seeing here is corned beef hash. I have 5 cans of it. Yeah, 5. And there are a couple different brands. I have the Armor brand, and this is just Kroger brand. And yeah, corned beef hash. I don't know if you can see it too well because the light is weird in this particular area. But corned beef hash is a good one. It has a lot of meat. It has basically it's a full meal. It's meat and potatoes in a can. That's basically what it is. And it has a very long shelf life. And if you watched Alaska Prepper, you know that the shelf life really, or the best buy dates on these things are really not set in stone. You can still eat this long after the best buy date. This particular can is December 9th, 23. These armor cans usually last a little longer, but yeah, this one's actually a little shorter. It's October 21st, 23. They're probably older cans. Canned food is getting a little bit harder to find as of late, just due to, canning facility shortages, food shortages in general. They are real. They are happening. What I'm doing currently is resealing this bag. I don't know if you can see it very well due to the light, but this little white clip right here is just to run over the seal to make sure it's closed down tightly and properly all the way across. If I can keep it on here, that would be awesome. But I always have issues with these little things. And I did hear it click a little bit, so it did do its job of what it was supposed to do in closing it. And you put these little clips on here to make sure the seal doesn't pop when you're sucking the air out of it. So, yeah, just going back into it, you just don't need to go and buy everything all at once. You only really need to buy what you can when you can. It's not too late at all to be prepping. It's not even remotely too late. As long as there's still food in the stores, there's still plenty of time to stock up. So don't be in too much of a rush. Yeah, you should have a little bit of a sense of urgency with what's going on. I highly recommend getting at least 3 months supply of food as soon as you possibly can, but don't do it by, completely destroying your personal economy or your personal budget all in one sitting. It's just, it's not smart because, and one thing I see a lot of people doing, well, with the Great Reset and all this going on and this and that and the other thing, let's go max out our credit cards and buy a bunch of food. You're still going to have to pay that. Even in a Great Reset, you're still going to have to pay that. So as you can see, I resealed it with the little plastic pump. And these are just my oxygen absorbers. I've been storing them in these reusable bags. And like I said, I sell these at grimsurvival.store. They work really well. They work really well. Just a little plastic pump takes all the air out of it. And that's done. So yeah, these are the essentials. These are the essential preps. This is my payday preps. So the essentials are canned food, some kind of meat, dried food, which this is rice, and water. Always, always, always remember the water. A lot of people overlook water. These are 32 packs of water. I have quite a bit more than that. Of the 32 packs, I also have other containers I'm filling with the water filter that I had built. And if you haven't seen that video, I built a Berkey style water filter using 2 of these 5-gallon buckets for less than $100. So keep that in mind if you're on a budget also. So like I was saying about canned food and meat, recently there was a fire in Florida at a chicken farm. 2 very large, they were like barns, I guess, burnt down. All the chickens in those particular buildings did not survive. I believe the last number I seen was 250,000 chickens. There's a new strain of H5N8 bird flu going around through Europe still that we're not getting a lot of information on. The World Economic Forum says that they want you to eat a lot less meat, so you could look into that as them trying to take it away. All the farmland last year, all the soy and the corn that is used to feed cattle, chickens, pigs, and basically all the livestock food didn't do too well last year. A lot of it in a lot of areas didn't do too well this year as well. So we are definitely seeing skyrocketing prices on meat, and it's going to get harder and harder to find. So being able to store some kind of canned meat or even can your own meat, I think is very essential right now. And it's definitely something you should do extra of it, anytime you have the ability to go and get a few extra things for your preps. Now, if you go to the grocery store every payday and you buy just one extra thing, this is a can, it's roughly about $1.50 right now. Roughly. I think I paid a little bit less than that for these, but roughly about $1.50. And if you go to the store, every time you go, you just get one of these because that's what you can afford. You take one and you put it away and you keep it there until, you have to eat it. You have to. Like I said, the best by dates aren't aren't set in stone. You don't have to, you can still eat this long after the best by date. There's actually survivalist, Les Stroud being one of them, that says eating rotten meat or meat that's starting to rot won't kill you, and recommends that in a desperate situation, you do it anyway. Cook it very well. Make sure everything you cook in that kind of a situation is very well done. Very well done. And yeah, you can still eat a lot of things that, I guess, mainstream would tell you that you can't. Mainstream science, mainstream medical, they're going to tell you you shouldn't eat that, but you know, you can't always trust what they say. You really just can't. So, yeah. So, essential preps, dried goods. This rice sealed like this with an oxygen absorber, just plastic wrap in a food grade bucket, is going to last. I'm going to estimate about 20 years. Now, I've seen reports of rice lasting not even sealed in oxygen free areas or oxygen free containers. I've seen reports of it lasting a lot longer than that, but I'm going to give that kind of an estimate on here. So, yeah, and I'm just writing what it is on the lid and the date that I stored it, just to keep track. That's my organizational skills right there. So yeah, meat is going to be an essential thing for you to be stocking up on, and canning yourself. You'll still be able to find decent deals on meat when it's getting close to its expiration date. And I'm talking fresh meat here. Fresh meat isn't, yeah, it's not going to last too much farther past its best buy date or its expiration date. So when it gets close to that, if you can find it in stores before it's been bought up, um, yeah, it's going to go on sale. You'll be able to get better deals that way. You can also get very good deals at your local butchers. I highly recommend small butcher shops, just small and local butcher stores and shops. I wouldn't go to the big giant stores and things like that. Walmart, I'm not ever walking into a Walmart ever again. Kroger is, yeah, they haven't tried to force any ridiculous things on me. I know a Walmart in Virginia had the police there, and they were writing misdemeanor citations to anyone not wearing a mask. So that's what I think about Walmart. No, thank you. Nah, I'm good. But going back into it, it doesn't have to be a fearful thing to prep. It doesn't have to be a right now, let's go get it right now. It doesn't have to be that way. Now, I know if you watch videos like Ice Age Farmer, you might get the, oh crap feeling, and we need to do more. Doing more is okay. Doing too much can be very bad for you and your family. So keep that in mind. Just one extra can is still prepping. Just two extra cans is still prepping. Or in my case, 5 extra cans is prepping, because that's where these are going. These are going into the pantry, where I keep a lot of the preps, and that's where they'll be and when I need them, when my family needs them. Now, one of these little cans right here of corned beef hash, like I said, this is just a beef, rehydrated potatoes, contains 2% or less of salt, sugar, seasoning, and yeah, crap that you don't want to eat anyway, but it's in there. And the same ingredients here. It's actually the exact same ingredients. Basically, it's the same thing with a different label, but it is the same thing. Uh, Stockpile things you like eating already. If you like eating chicken, you can buy canned chicken. You can buy just plain canned chicken breast. If you like meat and potatoes, I highly recommend corned beef hash or roast beef hash. If you can actually find roast beef hash anymore, I have some, but not nearly enough. And water, always, always, always water. I don't recommend stockpiling a lot of these type of bottles. I recommend the 1 gallon jugs. They make the flat 1 gallon jugs. I don't have them sitting here. They make, just the regular milk looking cartons of 1 gallon jugs. Distilled water is a very good thing for prepping. There's a lot of talk about how distilled water is bad for you, but distilled water can still be good, especially if you're stockpiling things like what are they called? The little packets of flavoring, or the little packets of electrolytes that you can pour and mix in there. It'll re-add nutrients to the water, and then you're good to go with distilled water as well. So, water's water, right? But distilled water just doesn't have anything in it. It takes out all the nutrients, all the vitamins or whatever is in the water. vitamins. I don't think it's vitamins, but you know what I'm trying to think of here. Words are escaping me all of a sudden. Yes, I just stuck a knife in my floor because I don't like this floor. It's ugly. It needs to be replaced. This is ugly carpet, isn't it? Anyway, this is my, I guess, payday preps video. That's probably what I will name it. And just a little advice I have for anyone starting out in prepping or anyone who's still prepping. It's just got that oh crap feeling going on through them right now. Like we need to do something right now. This is doing something right now. Just a few cans is doing something right now. 1 bucket of rice, 3 containers of water. Now, I can still go to Costco and for about $17, I can buy a 50-pound bag of rice, assuming they have it. Last time I was at Costco, they didn't, and I actually bought 2 25-pound bags of rice. And yeah, there it is. There's rice in there. Other things you can stockpile. You can go to feed stores. You can get wheat berries. Wheat berries are, a little hard to process. You make flour out of them, but you have to have a grinder. In an off-grid situation, you're going to need a hand crank grinder. And let me tell you, you better have some muscle in that arm. If you don't to start with, you will if you're trying to grind enough flour to just make a little bit of bread. You will have some muscle in that arm because those things are not easy. It's not easy to hand crank a wheat grinder. It's not. That's why they built those giant mills, the windmills that would do that for them way back when. A lot of technology like that, old style technology of ways to do things has been lost to us. And it's high time we go find it, find the information, the knowledge, and rethink the modern technology for more old style things, because old style things worked and they didn't require a lot of electricity, if any at all. So yeah, like I said, this is my payday preps video. This has just been a little bit of advice I have for you. I'm sitting on the floor and I'm tired of sitting here, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. If you've ever looked in my description, it says buy me a can. A lot of people have a coffee account. Some of them have a buy me a beer account. I have a buy me a can account. And what that means is any money that goes into there, I use it to get extra of these. And not just corned beef hash, but extra canned food. That's what that account is for. So just throwing that out there. And yeah, thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you for watching. I know my schedule's been a little off this week, but I think everybody's schedule is a little off this week. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, this has been James with Grim Survival. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.